$73,200. That is the top price for one seat at the 2026 World Cup final in New Jersey. One seat, one match, one afternoon. And here's the part they don't print on the ticket. You already helped pay for the party. The federal government set aside $625 million of American tax money for World Cup security. Host cities across 3 countries are burning through hundreds of millions more. Police, transit, stadium prep. And FIFA? The organization collecting roughly $11 billion from this tournament. How much tax do they pay on all of it? Almost nothing. Not because they found a loophole, because they wrote the loophole into the contract before they agreed to show up. This is not a sports event. It's the largest legal wealth transfer of 2026, dressed up in face paint and a theme song. The public builds the machine, private hands collect the output, and the ticket prices, they're not prices at all. They're a sorting algorithm. And tonight, I'm going to show you exactly who it's sorting and why my own family ended up on the wrong side of it. Stay with me. This one got personal. Let me tell you what FIFA actually is, legally speaking, not what it looks like on TV. FIFA is registered in Switzerland as an association, a non-profit. The same legal category as a village chess club or an alpine yodeling society. Except this chess club is sitting on cash reserves north of $4 billion, and it projects around $13 billion in revenue for the 2023 to 2026 cycle. Most of that comes from one event, the one happening in your country, on your roads, guarded by your police. Here's the mechanism, and I want you to really see it, because once you see it, you'll spot it everywhere. Before FIFA even considers a host nation, that nation signs government guarantees, tax exemption for FIFA, tax breaks for its subsidiaries, special visa lanes, commercial protection zones around the stadiums, the works. Economists call it a tax bubble, a temporary country inside your country where the normal rules are suspended for the guest of honor. Brazil learned this in 2014. Brazilian taxpayers spent roughly $15 billion on stadiums and infrastructure. FIFA walked away with close to $5 billion in revenue, essentially untaxed, an exemption Brazil's own government valued at about $250 million. Some of those stadiums now host weddings and parking lots. Weddings in a $200 million arena. Now scale that playbook to 2026. 48 teams, 104 matches, 16 cities across the US, Mexico, and Canada. Toronto's public bill is projected around 380 million Canadian dollars. Vancouver's estimates have crept past $500 million. American host cities are each covering security overtime, transit upgrades, and fan festivals, betting on economic impact studies to justify it all. And who writes those impact studies? Consultants, hired by the people who want the event. Independent economists have studied host cities for decades, and they keep finding the same thing. The promised boom mostly doesn't show up. Tourists who would have come anyway get displaced by soccer fans. Locals stay home. The money that does flow in gets captured by FIFA's exclusive commercial partners inside the bubble. Then it exits the bubble, untaxed. Public cost, private revenue, sovereign tax immunity. That's the whole trick, 3 moves. And the beautiful part, if you're FIFA, is that nobody riots over it because the product is joy. You can't protest a World Cup. Your own kids are wearing the jerseys. Okay, here's where this stops being a spreadsheet for me. My daughter Miriam was born on November 19th, 2025. Last winter, a few weeks after we brought her home, I was up at 1 in the morning doing the new dad shift. Bottle warmed, baby monitor hissing on the counter, the whole house dark, except my laptop. And I did the thing every soccer dad in America did this year. I opened the ticket portal. I had this picture in my head, Completely irrational, I know. She'd be 7, 8 months old by summer. She won't remember any of it. But I wanted the photo. Miriam in a tiny jersey, first World Cup, her dad holding her up when the anthem plays. The kind of photo you frame and embarrass her with at her wedding. That photo. The headline said tickets started at $60. $60? I can do that. So I'm scrolling the seat map for a group stage match, and the cheap categories are ghosts, gone, or never really there. The real seats, actual seats where you can see the field, are floating at several hundred each. I refreshed the page a few minutes later. The price had moved up while I watched, because for the first time in World Cup history, FIFA is using fully dynamic pricing, airline style. The price isn't set, it hunts. It reads demand in real time and climbs toward the maximum each buyer will tolerate before they break. So I did the math at that kitchen table. 2 adult tickets, a knockout match, because if you're only going once, you want it to matter. Parking, food, a hotel night. I was staring at something close to a mortgage payment for one afternoon for a baby who'd sleep through the second half. And one browser tab over, the hospitality site was selling final packages. $8,000 at the low end, $73,200 at the top. Sold through a company called On Location, owned by TKO Group, publicly traded, the same parent company as the UFC and the WWE. The people selling you the fight own the seats to the other fight too. And sitting there in the dark, listening to my daughter breathe through a monitor, it finally clicked. The algorithm wasn't broken. It was working perfectly. It just wasn't built for me. That $60 ticket is the marketing. The real product is the sort. Dynamic pricing is a machine for separating the ultra-rich from the middle class with surgical precision, row by row, and calling it market demand. The stadium is a filter. The suites face the field. The rest of us face a checkout timer. I wasn't sad about a soccer game. I promise you, that's not what that was. It was the moment I understood that the seat I was imagining for my daughter was never designed to exist. And I closed the laptop feeling something colder than disappointment. Initialized, and I felt sorted. So here's the payoff, and I refuse to end this with, the system is rigged, good luck. You already knew it was rigged. Here's the actual worldview shift. Every spectacle on earth has 2 doors. The front door, where you pay, and the cap table, where you get paid. FIFA can be a tax-free black box, fine, but the circus doesn't run on FIFA alone. It runs on companies you can actually look up. The hospitality monopoly is a subsidiary of a public company. The broadcasters paying billions for rights, the payment network on every single ticket transaction, the beer brand, the airline, the sportswear giant printing Miriam-sized jerseys. I'm not telling you what to buy. This isn't financial advice, and anyone who gives you stock picks through a screen is selling something. I'm telling you how to see. For now on, every time something feels obscenely overpriced, don't just wince. Ask 3 questions. Who actually receives this money? What tax rate do they pay on it? And is that entity something an ordinary person can own a piece of? Because that's the real line between the middle class and the people in the suites. The middle class asks, can I afford a ticket? Owners ask, how do I collect a piece of every ticket sold? Same stadium, opposite direction of cash flow. And Miriam, I'm still taking her to a match one day. Maybe not this circus, maybe a random Tuesday league game with $5 seats where she can actually hear the ball get kicked. The photo will happen. But the real thing I want to hand her isn't a ticket stub. It's the ability to look at any scoreboard and read the other scoreboard behind it, the one that shows who paid and who got paid. One last thing before you go. Tonight you watched a non-profit run an $11 billion tournament tax-free using a single magic word in its Swiss paperwork. Now imagine that same magic word in the hands of the world's richest families, protecting not billions, but generational fortunes designed to compound untaxed forever. That word is foundation. And in the next video, I'm opening that door. How billionaires give away their money, keep controlling it, and get applauded for it. The tournament ends in July. The machine never does. See you inside.